Roll the die, and I got a 5. Okay, so you guys can't see me roll the die, but you can trust me. Here's a 5. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. And after this game, I will accept the rest of the people who are missing so far. Okay. So we do win the coin flip, thankfully. It's always great going first with this deck. It's actually very, very important. And wow, Tapu Lele plus the Brigette. That's a hand, I guess. That is actually a hand. Why is the die rigged? Okay, Brigette. For another type null, for Oranguru, it just ends up being super crucial every time I use it. And then possibly Magearna, possibly Registeel. We do have both fighting memories if this is the Decidueye Zoroark. We do have one medal prized. What else do we want off of this Brigette? I guess Cobalion or Magearna. Magearna hits pretty hard. I think I like Cobalion because Magearna hits the same as Silvally. So would I want to armor press potentially if I don't find Silvally? I guess so. Yeah, let's attach to the active and then we pass. Probably going to end next turn. I can't afford to just Lele for Sycamore and discard all of that. Maybe I can. We see the Brigette. So this is where we find out what kind of Decidueye deck this is. Okay, so there's Vulpix, there's Latios as well, and there's Rowlet. So we do get one-hit KOs on Latios, which is pretty good. We see a DC on Latios, however, no energy on Vulpix, and the top deck of the Ultra Ball is actually pretty nice, although I'm actually very unsure we're going to be able to attack this turn with Silvally. I mean, we rely 100% on a DCE. Whereas if I end, I give myself options, I guess. But no, I'm just gonna go for Silvally. There's no double colorless priced. Yeah. Vistalone, how much money I spent purchasing Pokemon cards all these years? It's really hard to tell because like there was a time where I would just pretty much win all the cards I needed. There was also a time where I wasn't purchasing too many cards. Right now I'm very lucky to have a sponsor, so I don't have to spend money on cards. It's very difficult to say an estimate because I was also like before I wouldn't buy many cards. I would just borrow, and right now like I do try to keep enough cards to build most viable decks and stuff. Before I didn't do that. I would just like stick with buy for one deck and then borrow for other decks if I needed to. I'm gonna say $10,000, but like that number is probably not accurate. There's too many factors to consider. Can you give examples of what Magearna's ability stops? Well, Magearna stops Miraculous Shine from SP&EX, so Devolution, as long as you have Metal Energy attached. It stops Bubble from Froakie. It stops Righteous Edge from Drampa, discarding your special energy. It stops What else does it stop? I think those are the major ones. It stops Confusion from Espion GX's Psybeam. It stops Plee GX as well. It stops Plee GX. It one-shots Gardevoir and Alola Ninetales GX. Yep, all of those. I'm sure there's more relevant examples. Okay, so my opponent choosing to discard the Alola Ninetales very smartly. He's gonna focus on the Decidueye. We unfortunately do not have a fire memory yet. I wonder if they are going to release the different memories for Silvally, or if they're just gonna release these two. Okay. Well, this alone I have been playing for over 15 years, so it's very different. And like I am a professional for this, so I mean, it is a lot of money. It's definitely a lot of money, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna attach to Silvally. I'm gonna play a choice band. No, I'm gonna keep the choice band, just because that deck probably has at least 2 Field Blower, potentially 3. So I wanna make sure I have the choice band for when I actually do get an attack off. Especially because Rebel GX, if it doesn't bench anything else, with the Rainbow attached, I do get a knockout that way. So we will just Turbo Drive, get our first prize card finally on turn 3, and attach the energy to the other Silvally. Magearna does protect us from Miraculous Shine from the Espion, which my opponent already discarded anyways. And he immediately promotes the Latios. Decides to attach a choice band, so he's gonna be dealing 60 and 30 to probably my other Silvally. What are your opinions on Buzzle Machamp GX? I mean, I lost to Machamp GX the other day using Gardevoir, so that was interesting, honestly. Let me close the curtain real quickly, just so that there's no big glare. Okay, it still shows. I think without energy acceleration from Carpink, it might not be good enough, but I mean, Machamp is a solid card. It's definitely better than Como-O and Charizard, so it's not the worst GX for sure. And Fighting type is actually very relevant and very good right now. With Silvally and Zoroark going around, it's actually a very relevant type. Okay, so we see the Decidueye, we see the Dartrix, we see the Rainbow. However, we also see that my opponent decided to bench another Pokemon, so we still do enough damage with Rebel GX. Now, I think we get rid of Latios here because that gets rid of an energy and an option for my opponent to stream attackers. I could knock out the Decidueye, which is potentially more dangerous, I guess. What is better to knock out here? We have Cobalion as our late game win condition, and I also want to accelerate energy this turn. However, okay, so if I knock out the Decidueye, this Silvally definitely survives to take another knockout. However, if I take a knockout with Silvally on Latios, this Silvally could get knocked out by a DC choice band, Feather Arrow. So I think it's better to just get rid of the Decidueye here. Excuse me. It's so cool to have free retreats all the time. So cool to have free retreat all the time. Okay, so just gonna manually attach to the Silvally. I don't have Metal Energy in the discard pile, right? No. Who do I attach to? Who do I attach to? No, I guess, yeah, definitely Silvally. Then we're gonna retreat. I'm gonna attach the Psychic Memory just because I can. And I could attach the Choice Band, but I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna Rebel GX here for the knockout. So we're down to 3 prizes next turn. Sure, Latios spreads a little bit more, but we do have the knockout with this Silvally, and then hopefully between this Silvally and whatever else we end up powering up, in combination with Guzma, we can take our last prize cards. What do you think of the return of the Lost Zone? The return of the Lost Zone is actually pretty cool. I don't think it's gonna be like a really big thing. I think they're making it so that it's gonna be specific to the Prism cards. I don't think we're gonna see a thing where if there's X amount of things in the Lost Zone, you win the game, like we had with the Stadium, or was it Gengar, or something like that. But I think it will. It's cool that they're introducing it again, but it's just gonna be like an inaccessible discard pile. It's not gonna be a big gameplay mechanic, I think. You wonder how practical it is to play all the memories, even if the options were there. Yeah, I mean, I think you could just adapt the memories to counter the top decks in the format. I don't think you would play one of each memory just because exactly of how situational they are, but I could see myself playing like between 5 or 6 and like 2 copies of the specific ones for the metagame, and then 1 copy of other cards that could maybe help me deal with the rest of the metagame, perhaps. I don't know, like a problematic matchup or a fringe matchup. Something like I would play 1 grass memory just so that I could keep up with Greninja or something like that. Okay, so my opponent did not attach an energy to the bench. So DC on Lele does knock me out, but I would be okay with that. I would actually be okay with that. The issue is this DCE. Who do I attach it to? So attaching it to Silvally seems silly. Patrick, no, the stream is just starting actually. The stream is just getting started. Okay. I'm actually unsure. I mean, I definitely Sycamore. I don't know who to attach the DC to. I want to say Magearna or Lele. One of the two. I'm gonna go Magearna actually. And I'm just gonna Sycamore here. Thin on my deck a little bit, get more resources. No energy, which is unfortunate. My opponent has yet to play a single Field Blower. Oh no, there's one. So I feel safer-ish attaching this Choice Band. I hope I don't regret attaching this DC to the Magearna though. And we're just gonna take a knockout with this 240 HP Turbo Drive. This deck is okay against Gardevoir. It can take some wins. It's like you need really, really good starts to take those wins, but it does have a small chance to beat Gardevoir for sure. Well, Vistalone, no, I'm playing 2 Fighting Memory, 2 Psychic Memory, and 4 Choice Band in the list, not 4. That would be overkill. It's just, they're all very situational, but Psychic Memory and Fighting Memory do seem to be super useful right now, just because Psychic Memory hits Espeon, hits Latios, hits Gallade. Well, Latios doesn't matter, but hits Espeon and Gallade, and then Fighting Memory hits Drampa and Zoroark. So those are some pretty good Pokemon to target right now. Yeah, all good, Patrick. If you have issues with the stream, all you have to do is refresh it. And yeah, it would be like I'm gonna try streaming for quite a long while today, guys. So it would be awesome to get to 2,000 followers today. That would be pretty cool, because we're close. We're like 100-ish off. Okay, so my opponent's spreading the damage around. He does attach the DC to the Lele, so he does have back-to-back attacks on the Lele. I mean, with the Lele, because I have nothing that can one-hit KO. However, I was able to find a Sycamore off of the N, which is pretty good. And I can promote the Magearna. Hello, Nexus. Thank you so much for being here. And Marky Loves Cats we don't have a Discord server. I have thought about making one, but we don't have one right now. Okay, so I only find DC. I think that's fine. I'm gonna attack with Silvally. I'm gonna power up Magearna, I guess. After I damage this Lele, unless my opponent has Acerola, which he probably does, that's gonna be an issue. However, if I power up Cobalion, that's good enough. So I think the energy goes to Cobalion actually. In this case, I think the energy has to go to Cobalion. Cobalion is our win condition, I think. Because if my opponent takes Acerola, which I think is very likely here. I think Acerola is very, very likely. What's the probability of Silvally making top cut in London? Deck seems solid, like Elizabeth and Bulu. I think I wouldn't be surprised to see 1 or 2 Silvallys in day 2 in London. Maybe Silvally Zoroark, maybe Silvally with a different typing. But yeah, the deck is very solid for sure. I don't think it's anything groundbreaking, but it is very solid for sure. Okay, so this is what happens here. If my opponent doesn't end us, we win. If he Acerolas and takes a knockout with Lele, we win. Because Cobalion comes up and takes a knockout on the Lele. If he ends us, the only way my opponent doesn't lose next turn is if he ends us and attacks with something like Decidueye and Holo Hunt. There's a DC on Lele. He could retreat and end, but then it comes down to us finding a Guzma to win, and there's a Lele and 2 Guzmas in our hand, and we potentially have, well, we know we have another Lele in our deck because we started with the 3, and there's potentially a 4th Guzma, I think, in the list. So that's 5 outs out of 25 cards, so 1 every 5 cards. And we do have Oranguru and whatever amount, yeah, and 2 more Ultra Balls, so 7 outs out of 25 cards. Okay, so Double Feather Arrow, spreading the damage around. There's a Sycamore, so this means we win. No Acerola to heal the Lele means Guzma DC just gets us a win. With Cobalion or with Lele on that Lele, so GG to my opponent. GG to my opponent. There's the Energy Drive knockout. And yeah, Cobalion, if I'm not mistaken, is now dealing 150 plus the Choice Band 180 damage. Right? So Cobalion does take the knockout here, I believe. Oh, it's 2 metal. Oops. It's 2 metal, not metal and colorless. Oopsies. Oops. Oops. That was silly. Okay. Oops. Okay, now I don't have energy. That was very silly. Top 8 Worlds Plays indeed. Hashtag top 8 Worlds Plays. Okay. Now I'm gonna end. Yeah, I'm sorry guys. Okay, I got an Acerola actually. I got an Acerola. I still lose, I think. Well, no, I probably don't lose. That was very silly. I'm sorry guys, that was very, very silly. I'll promote type null. I will bench the Cobalion again. And I will pass. Okay, now we need my opponent to not end. I could have used the first attack, but then he could have just Guzman around it. I'd rather have the energy in hand to target down that Lele. But yeah, that was very silly. I'm sorry guys. That was very, very silly. That's what I get for assuming things. That's what I get for assuming things. Now we see the Acerola. Yeah, Quick Guard was fine. I wanted to have the energy available. But now we're in trouble because my opponent used the Acerola. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, no excuse. I should know that Cobalion takes 2 metal. That was very, very silly. We'll see. We probably do lose because of that. We very likely do lose because of that. The good part here is my opponent cannot take a knockout unless he attaches another energy to a Lele. See a Floatstone. See a DCE on the Koko. And we're gonna see a spread plus more damage spread from the Decidueye. So that was so silly, guys. Okay, he's focusing on Magearna. Probably has the Guzma to win. Oh no, actually triple ability knocks out Magearna. So the next card was the Metal Energy. We have no way to stop the triple Decidueye, so we end up losing this match. A match we had won with a Guzma DC knockout on the Lele with damage on the bench. But it's okay. I mean, it's a silly mistake. That's what I get for not playing it safe, I guess. But yeah, good game to my opponent. That was very silly of me, not knowing that Cobalion needed 2 metal energy. I mean, I know that. It's just